Hey guys, welcome to the Silver Report. Today is Thursday, February 9th, 2017. Gold is currently trading at $1,233.80. Silver is trading at $17.77. And some of you who listen to my videos, if you'll notice, the last video was taken down and it is because of a communication error. I relayed a story, and I wanted to just make it clear that the French elections are April 23rd, 2017. And the way that I relayed the information, I felt that it needed to be recommunicated, is that Marine Le Pen is now surging in the polls. The other two candidates, they're filled with scandal. It's slated for her to win. She's going to win France. She's run on a campaign of leaving the EU. They've also begun to hash out plans to restructure a new form of currency because the EU has been using tactics of saying that they need to repay the debt before they're able to leave the European Union. They've mentioned this to Great Britain, who's also entered in now to leave the European Union, as well as we see this crisis arising in Greece. So we will be seeing those things. And the reason that I reported it in relation to silver price is that it is affecting the world right now. We have much uncertainty that has been mounting. And we know that the euro is set to collapse as a currency. It will no longer be used as a currency in the world. We know that we've seen some recent moves from Iran saying that they need to use a more stable currency. The euro was one of their options when it came to dropping the US dollar. But I wanted to make sure that I'm communicating information clearly, is that the reason this matters is because there will be a great transfer of wealth in the European Union. Europe is one of the richest geographical locations in the world. There's vast amounts of wealth there. And the euro and the strength of the euro is going to be breaking apart. We are going to feel this around the world. Now, we saw when there were reports in 2015 of a Grexit, a major panic and a drop on the stock market. And referring to the stock market, you understand there's 30 companies on the Dow. These companies do not reflect the American economy as a whole. So we have comments about the Dow is surging when we have food stamp applications surging. So they're not reflecting the economy in the United States when you see the Dow surging. But in reference to what we're seeing in Europe, this will be felt around the world. And the reason why it matters is because of the transfer of wealth away from European currency. When countries enter a currency crisis, they attempt to buy any physical assets that can store their wealth. Gold and silver is known worldwide as a store of wealth. So when you have events like this, as we're seeing running the news cycle, and the reason I reported it as such is because Marine Le Pen is going to win. It's what the people want. They want out of the European Union. Mario Draghi, the leader of the European Union Central Bank, has great concerns about what's happening with Great Britain. The fact that they are departing from the European Union, there is a demand that the debt be paid. And all of these European nations have been put into debt. Almost all of them have been put into debt by this European Union Central Bank. And the purpose behind it is so that they are unable to leave. That they're unable to regain control of their countries. It was a system derived to steal sovereignty from these nations and to impoverish them so that they forever are ruled over by one central governing body, not reflected by the votes or the will of the citizens. And so the reason that I conveyed it as being so important, and why it is important, is the fact that when these central banks, these central bankers begin to lose control, they have immense power at their disposal. What we see happening in Germany shows it. We see the German chancellor, she's coming out and saying that there is fake news cycling, that there needs to be a suppression of fake news. She's trying to limit the amount of information because the idea of freedom and independent sovereignty of nations is spreading throughout the world. The world doesn't want to be globalized. The world doesn't want a redistribution of wealth. The world wants freedom. And we know that when other countries are determining the state of the laws that are happening for your citizens, people don't always have the same point of view. So these countries are breaking apart. We saw this with the dramatic rise of Donald Trump in the United States. He hit a vein with the populace because the populace didn't want 4 more years of America being destroyed and impoverished. They didn't want more money printing. They didn't want more regulation or more wars for money. They didn't want this. They want their country to remain the same. And this idea, the reason it's so important to stifle this is because this idea, its time has come. And the globalist elite don't want this to happen. And whenever they begin to lose control, it is always painful. When the people in the European Union, who overwhelmingly, for years, we've been hearing the calls that they want to leave the European Union. The unemployment rates have risen in most of the European countries. The debt levels, these countries have been crushed under the debt that took place from the 2008 financial crisis. This was a massive loss of money, and the effects have still not been fully felt. We have seen the interest rates kept artificially low in these countries. The effects of what already has happened are yet to be fully felt. And this idea, the reason they work so hard to suppress it, like in Germany, this idea that these elections are being undermined, are to stifle the dissent of their citizens from their globalist control. And when we have people like Marine Le Pen who's saying we want to take France out of the European Union rising up, and they have her party around her hashing out plans for another currency, for dual currency, as well as Greece, because being unable to leave the European Union because of debts to the euro is not acceptable. The people no longer are accepting that story. So they are creating dual currencies to be able to operate so that they can be free from European central bank control. And this is not going to go easy. This is going to affect the entire world. This is something that people dream about, but what it really does is put the globalist central bankers that control the world's economy into a corner. And they're not going to go without a fight. Currency war. Impoverishing nations. We saw that Venezuela, they wanted their gold back from control from the central banks because they were afraid that the gold was being loaned out because gold is being double sold. And they paraded their gold through the town in Venezuela. And now look at them begging for food. When people want free from control of these banks, nations fail. Currencies fail. Dual currencies fail. And that's what we're watching. That's why it's important. That's why it matters when it comes to preparations. Because there will be a massive transfer of wealth out of the euro. It is no longer reliable. It is breaking apart. The European Union is ending. It is ending. Protect your assets while you have the chance. And that's what it's about. It's about doing something to preserve your wealth. Because this will affect the entire world. And it will affect the precious Dow, which is already unstable. It's oversold, overvalued. There's no real substance to it. So it cannot maintain this current level. And I thank you guys so much for joining me. I thank you for addressing that. I thank you so much. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe. There'll be more videos just like this. Like the videos, share the videos. I thank you guys so much for stopping by, and remember, be safe. Hey guys, thanks for joining me again. I told you we had something special coming up. So what we're gonna do, I just got a nice package in the mail. Got two brand new 2017 Canadian Maples. Man, I love these coins. What a beautiful coin that is. Oh, I guess you're wondering about the title of the video. That's right. This is Free Silver February, guys. And I figured since the channel's been doing so good and picking up so many subscribers, I thought it was time to give a little something back to my audience. So for every person who subscribed, all you have to do, guys, is comment on 3 different videos the message Free Silver February. And for everybody who types the message Free Silver February in 3 different videos, each 3 videos, you're entered in for a chance to win one of these brand new silver Canadian Maples. Brand new, never touched by human hands. Well, at least since they've been in my possession. Brand new spotless coins. And they're yours, guys. I'll pay shipping. So if you want to partake in the contest, all you gotta do is be subscribed. Type in Free Silver February. I'll make it even sweeter. Every 3 videos you post that comment in, you're entered in. So there's no limit. The only limit is the amount of videos because it's gotta be on 3 separate videos. Alright, and I'll make it even sweeter. Since the channel's been doing so well, guys. And if you're new to this channel, we talk a little bit about politics, a little bit about the current economic crisis we're facing that they're trying to ignore. It's kind of one of those fake news sites they've been warning you about. So this is what I'm going to do, guys, since it's been doing so good. If we surpass 1,000 subscribers, which I'm assuming we will, at the current rate, we'll blow past that before the end date, February 27th, 2017, I'm gonna double it. So you get 2 ounces of silver, and even more than that, I'll throw in 5 mercury dimes. Absolutely free. I'll pay shipping, and we're gonna do the drawing live, guys. Good old-fashioned pull names out of a hat. You know what I mean. So here's your chance, guys, if you wanna enter in. It's not that difficult for all my audience, all my faithful subscribers. Everyone who subscribed, all you have to comment is Free Silver February, and you're in. Alright, but thank you guys for joining me. This message is effective January 27th, 2017. Let the games begin.